Okay, so what it's like to drive a race car on the road. Well, I've got my Red Bull, nowhere to put it, so I've kind of got my Yeti cup here, put it in between my transmission tunnel and my racing seat, and I'm just going to stick it in there. That's the only option I got. Okay. So I got my super sweet welded diff in here, and I'm kind of on an incline. I need to start it in reverse. You can thank the solid engine mounts for that nice vibration. Can't reach it. So this is going to record the entire trip. Visibility is a bit of an issue. Welded diff makes nice noises. Well, there she goes. So what's it like to drive a track car on the street? Sometimes it's really fun, and sometimes it's scary, annoying, nerve-wracking, irritating. At least with me, I don't know about you guys. But any car that you drive on the track, you kind of get a certain relationship with, whether it be good or bad. And you know the car more than you would a car you just drive on the street. When I drive this car, I know it more intuitively than I would my regular daily driver, just because I know this car more at its limits. Not that I drive it to its limits on the street, but I have I'm much more aware. The other part of that is, you see, I have to look everywhere. I've got a lot of blind spots. These bolsters, they may help when you have a helmet on and get in an accident, but as far as seeing, fortunately I have enough movement that I can see. It makes it quite a bit more difficult checking your blind spots. You can't really, I can't even really reach the camera, so it's pretty much going to record most of the time, unless I figure out how to weasel my way over there. Positive side to that is you have enough power to get in front of regular flowing traffic, unlike my daily driver, which you have to wind up the hamster. But yeah, you kind of can't hear yourself think. I have a cool thing where I start my music and I put the speaker behind my ear, kind of like this, and it works pretty well. Seating position, I really prefer this seating position. I sit very upright in my daily driver rather than back and pimping. Oh yeah, I got my Red Bull. How's that hold up? Looks like it has its pump. you can take it. I don't want to drive it. It really does drive that different. Of course, it gets hot. This thing becomes a freaking sauna. Yeah, generally, I hate traffic. Another awesome positive, sitting at lights, you just get to hear your cam lope. Love that. Driving the car on the street can be trying. Dealing with other drivers that really are idiots, that aren't aware of their vehicles like you are. So dealing with that, it's your baby. You try to stay as far away from people as possible, but that's pretty much impossible when you're driving on the street, especially on the highway. Like I drove my car to work today, now I'm driving it to do some errands. You get funny looks in parking lots, and especially parking garages. Because of the differential squeak. You got your tires tripping. They probably think this thing's just a hunk of shit. Which sometimes I might agree with them, but that's just when this thing pisses me off. Dealing with weather, that sucks. If your track car has windows and, doesn't leak, more power to you. Then you can drive in pretty much all weather conditions. I don't like to drive in the rain anyway. It gets my baby dirty. I was the same way with my motorcycles too. It just gets nasty road grime on it, and I don't know. It's not as fun driving in the rain, but if you get stuck out, that's not the end of the world. I don't know if the camera could hear that, but there's one of the good clunks of not having any bushings in the front suspension. Driving your track car on the street can be a very rewarding experience, or it could be a very terrible, nerve-wracking experience. It really deals with the other goobers on the road with you, and how much